Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, this one is a pretty cute one today. I have been wanting to purchase some of these art impressions. They're very, very cool. This one is called Rock On Laugh Lines. Now, some of these are really, really funny, and I noticed that cards with a little bit of humor do really well. And so I like this one. I am going to try and make this into a fun card today, and we are going to have a little bit of movement in today's card. Now, first up, I am going to stamp this out, and I am warning you, I'm going to fussy cut this. Now, that's not for everybody. I think there is a die available. It seems tricky to track down, but if you didn't want to fussy cut this, then obviously you could mask this off, and that would make it a lot easier too. I actually didn't find this too tricky to fussy cut at all, so if you are at all okay with it, then I think you'll find this fine. But as I said, if you can track down the die, then that could be a good option, or if you have any of the machines that cut things out for you. Now, I have stamped this in some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, covered it with some clear embossing powder, melted that just so that I can keep the lines looking bright and fresh and beautiful. I'm going to color these using some alcohol markers, and you guys will know that this is not my forte. This is not my strong point, and so I am very much going to work with similar to what's on the packaging of this stamp set, and so I'm just going to go for similar colors. I quite like the look of what they've done. Now, I did do this really light sort of peachy, almost skin color to begin with, and although I quite like it, I wanted it just a shade darker, mainly so I could do the other color would be some of the skin as well. So these are the TriBlend markers. There are 3 markers in each pen, so there is a light, a medium, and a dark, which makes life so easy. So all I've literally done is with the purple, I did the lightest one, and then I did medium. Using the medium, I did little dots, and then with the other one, I used the lightest one to color it, and then I think I used the dark one to do the stripes on the shirt. And so it was super, super easy. Very, very little coloring involved. Again, I come in with the brown for a chair and decide to go just another shade or so darker. So this is the light of the pen, and you can buy these individually, so I will list them individually, but you can also buy them in the essentials pack. You can choose whether you want brush markers or bullet tip markers. I like the bullet tip, honestly, for the amount of coloring and the kind of coloring I do, which is mainly things like this, smaller images, I would say, than really big images. So I absolutely love these. I highly recommend these. I've had these now for years, and I truly think they are so worth it for someone who, that's not my forte, picking out lots of different colors, individual alcohol markers that are going to go together and that create that seamless blend. All of that work is done for me, and I absolutely love that. It helps me out a lot. Now, I used my little fussy cutting scissors, my little cutter bees, and cut this out. Honestly, it wasn't too bad at all. The lines of the chair, the lines of her body, all those things are actually really straight. I also went ahead and did the inside here, just because I could. And then just to finish this off, and this is what always I do. If I'm doing fussy cutting on an image, this is what makes it look far better than it actually is. Go around with a black marker. This one is a cheap and cheerful one. It's from scrapbook.com, and it is wonderful. It has a long tip that sort of gets in everywhere. And it was literally, I think, $1 or $2. So really, really good. Now, going with the feel of the card, I have got the Peony Garden. This is from Mintay Papers, and I absolutely love the gorgeous soft tones in this. But I'm going for a sort of wallpaper background, and then I'm going to go for, something like carpet or flooring or a rug or something. If you have the wonderful talent that you are able to draw these things, or you have stamps that are going to work, that give you perspective, even better. But I don't, and I'm going to make do with what I have, so I'm happy with that. This here is going to be a bit of flooring. I quite like this to go across the bottom, and then we are going to really shine a spotlight on this beautiful person rocking out in their rocking chair. And in fact, I put this one I actually made about maybe 3 or so weeks ago. I put it in my little stash for friends and family who can come and grab it and get what they want. And it went straight away. And then I got a text message the next day saying, any chance that you can make lots more of those? And so I did go ahead and make a few more because I think they just went down really well. So I quite like that. So I've got my piece of background cardstock here. I've got a little bit of tattered rose distress oxide ink. I really just went through and found anything. If I couldn't have found one that matched, I probably would have just used some vintage photo or some brown or something to go around the edges and just give it a little bit of life. Nothing too exciting at all. And you could absolutely skip this step if you wanted to. And it doesn't matter which way up it goes, which is easy. This can be sort of messy. It's all just, happy crafting for me. And then when it came to the flooring that I'm going to put down here, I just want to adhere it onto the bottom as straight-ish as I can. And then I will cut off the excess. But the fun part that we're going to do is coming up. Now, I had so much fun creating this card. Honestly, it didn't take me long at all. I was really impressed. Obviously, the stamping, the colouring, and the cutting out of the image was what took me the longest, but this was really quick to put together, and that's why I was happy to make more of them when someone requested it. Now I'm going to take some mint tape, just some low tack tape. You could take whatever tape works for you. If you use washi tape, make sure it doesn't have too much stick because we do not want to be ruining the project at this point. And I want to literally shine a spotlight on this beautiful person, and so I'm going to take a couple of different yellows. I wasn't sure which one, and of course, I am not super artistic when it comes to these things, so we're going basic. Squeezed lemonade and mustard seed. All I'm doing is putting some squeezed lemonade, a somewhat light-ish layer, because we don't want to cancel out the background. It's just meant to be, a spotlight shining down on them. And so I'm going to do a light layer of that, and then I take just a tiny bit of the mustard seed, and I'm just going to go at the very edges. I really just flick my way down there because my rounded blending foam is obviously quite big, but I was able to do the job and just really get the edges. Now I didn't go down onto the carpet so much, but after I finished, I come back and do that in a minute because I'm like, the light doesn't stop there. It could if we wanted it to because it's our card making. But there we go. I've got my spotlight ready to go, and check that we're going to fit there perfectly, and I really like this. And then this is where I decide that I actually need a little bit of light down below. So I just take the light squeezed lemonade with not too much on it and just go a little bit around the bottom. Nothing too specific. And I think this looks pretty cute. Now, as for sentiments, there are lots of gorgeous sentiments in this set. Young at heart, old in other places. All my passwords are protected by amnesia. Being old doesn't seem so old now that I'm old. Aging is inevitable, but maturing is optional. You make getting old look good, and a whole lot more. There's more than 3 times that amount that I just read out, but I'm choosing to use the you make getting old look good. Just to test it, I usually use some acetate, but couldn't find any. I had some vellum nearby, and I thought, I could put this anywhere, but I really didn't want to distract too much from the beautiful image that we have created. So I'm going to lay that sentiment just in one of those little white stripes down the bottom, and I think that will work out just fine. If you wanted to, you could definitely either cut the stamp apart or do partial stamping up the top left-hand or top right-hand corners and stack them instead of having them side by side, all of the words. I think that would work really nicely too. But yeah, I just really love this card. Now, to make it a little bit more fun, of course, I want to use a little action wobbler. Now, this just seems completely appropriate for, the card, I guess, because they're rocking out on their little rocking chair, their wooden chair, and what better than a gorgeous little wobbler to make that happen. And one of my favorite things about this is, of course, so these are just like 2 little sort of adhesive pieces with a little, like corkscrew sort of situation that is going to spring up. Now, 2 of my favorite things about these. One, these are the mini ones, which are nice and discreet. They fit behind lots and lots of things. You just peel off the release paper from the backing, stick it to one side, peel off the other release paper, and then pop it down. Now, the other thing that I really, really love about these is, look at this. This goes completely flat. So when it pops out of its envelope, it's going to really pop up and give it some dimension. But when you want to send it, it goes completely flat. So I really love that it has that ability. It's sort of the best of both worlds with dimension and yet you know, you can squish it down into an envelope. So very, very cool. I'm going to pop them right there in the center, and then look how much this wobbles. These are really strong and fun to play with. And yeah, so I had a whole lot of fun making this card today. I have been eyeing up another couple of the Art Impressions sets. So if you have one, or if you've seen them before, let me know your favorite. I'd love to check it out. Let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, I will of course leave links to all of these things down below. And I thank you for being here. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, for supporting me. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.